So this installation here is a kind of a reconfiguration of a larger piece, and my idea was to create, to kind of change the space of the gallery and create kind of a constructed layered space. I became interested in landscape, and specifically the kind of urban, ex-urban American Midwest landscape after I moved here to the US, which was about 5 years ago. And I'm from England, London, and it's, for me, a profoundly different landscape in that, you know, I'm used to kind of a dense, walkable environment, and obviously Columbus is very different from that. And the kind of premium that's placed on space itself is completely different. And so with the kind of economic downturn, I began noticing that these spaces that used to be kind of busy shopping centres are now obviously abandoned. And I was kind of fascinated, first of all, that someone could just leave a space like that, like could just build a store and then leave it. And that the land is so devalued that like it's not even for sale, right? Like it's just left. But this project began with me passing this one particular space, Value City, on my way to Easton, like to Trader Joe's. And I would pass by it every day, well, not every day, but once a week at least. And what at first glance seemed like a just completely ugly, worthless kind of expanse of concrete where nothing was happening, the more and more I went past it, the more I realized that actually there was this really richly layered life happening. And so they kind of followed this sustained period of observation that was about 6 months. And I really just would turn up at this parking lot, and I would sit in my car and I'd get my camera and I would just stay there. I'd stay there sometimes for an hour, sometimes I stayed there for 3 hours, and record the kind of funny moments, the moments of beauty, whether that's the play of light on the wall, or leaves, or birds, or the hawk, for example, using the space as a hunting ground, and I just try and record those moments. And as I did it more, I kind of began finding other spaces as well. So this space is called Consumer Square, and it's on the east side, like near Reynoldsburg. And it's, again, just a huge, vast parking spot. So what I found was that there's this return and this reappropriation of these spaces, and they've kind of become public space again. But they're very different from the kind of public space that they used to be, which is obviously all around like shopping, and this idea of shopping as leisure and value, and these kind of very naked messages, I guess, that are kind of scripted in these spaces. And that really fascinates me, the idea that all of that scripting and all of that control of the kind of activities that take place in these areas can kind of be undone, and that all it really takes is for the maintenance to stop, and for them to stop being these completely static time zones. So this piece here is the newest, and it's actually taken in Cleveland, and this is a mall that's designed by the same people who do Easton. And so this is the new trend of shopping malls, right? It's like this whole town centre. You drive to be a pedestrian, and you get out and you walk around, and there's pipe music. And I'm fascinated by the two parallel universes of these malls, like once they are not useful anymore and they're abandoned, and the ones that are still functioning, and the different activities that happen on them. This music, this music is playing at this mall, like at 8 o'clock. This is it. It's really loud. It's outside of Dick's Sporting Goods. You can see it. And it's just, to me, I guess, I wanted to create this contrast between the completely fake and kind of plastic surface kind of environment that's here, and then the kind of, I guess, unscripted and more genuine moments of interaction between friends that might happen on a place where the kind of the purpose of the space isn't changed. And I do feel as if they kind of exist in two different places, but they kind of overlap. And then the music itself, like, it's so bizarre. It's this kind of, you know, rebellious, like, rock and roll that's obviously completely commodified for the purpose of selling sporting goods. And the fact that we just go to the mall and we just don't even question that that's our culture, like, that's the legacy, that it's just, like, fed back to us in this endless loop. So, yeah, that's it. And then there are also kind of street scenes here, like, I'm also fascinated by this gaiety, this kind of beauty of, like, the advertising, the kind of buy, you know, messages, and the decoration of the car lots and the balloons. And I love taking those moments and just isolating them so that, for me, they begin to take on a different meaning. You know, the balloons dancing in the wind becomes kind of poetic and sad in some way to me, and then I don't know, it's just, I find it very compelling. So I think that's it. If anyone has questions, like, was I there when the walk came along? It was. It was very big, and it's eating cherry pie.